Creating art as if my life depended on it. That's a phrase that strikes a chord deep inside me. When you think about it, there's a certain urgency and passion that comes with that kind of mindset. It's like suddenly, everything you create becomes a reflection of who you are, where you've been, and the emotions swirling around in your head. As illustrators, we might not literally be fighting for our lives when we sit down to draw, but tapping into that feeling can totally transform how we approach our work. Hello, nice to see you. My name is Martin, illustrator from Cologne, and I'm happy that you're here. Let's take a moment to reflect on that intensity. Think back to a time when you felt completely immersed in your art. Maybe it was a late-night doodling session where the outside world faded away, or a project that really made you feel something. I know for me, those moments are pure magic. It's as if time stands still, and you're just flowing, whether it's with pencils, brushes, or digital devices. In those instances, you forget about deadlines, critiques, and comparisons. You're just creating because you must, because it's essential to your being. That's the energy we want to harness and bring into our everyday practice. So how do we cultivate that sense of urgency in our artistic lives? First off, start by reminding yourself why you create art in the first place. What does it mean to you? For some, it's a form of expression that helps process emotions. For others, it's a way to tell stories or connect with people. Whatever it is, tap into that motivation regularly. Create a vision board or write down a few sentences about what art means to you and how it impacts your life. Keep it somewhere visible, so every time you sit down to work, you're visually reminded of why you dive into the creative process. Another practical tip is to establish a routine that pushes you to create art regularly, regardless of how you feel on a given day. Making art needs to be a non-negotiable part of your life. Much like eating or sleeping. Set aside dedicated time in your schedule where you can unleash your creativity without distractions. It doesn't have to be for hours on end. Sometimes just 20 to 30 minutes can do wonders, especially if you treat those minutes as non-stop, intense art creation time. You might even call it your art survival moment. During that time, silence your inner critic and let yourself play. Let it feel like your very existence hinges on making something that day, even if it's just a quick sketch. You'd be surprised how much you can produce when you shift your mindset to that urgency. Next up, ask yourself what would happen if you were to share your art with the world, as if it were both your lifeblood and your calling. Imagine if you treated every piece not just as a product, but as a gift that could impact others. What would you create if you thought about how viewers would react or connect with your work? This isn't about putting pressure on yourself to be perfect. It's about recognizing the value that your unique voice brings to the table. Art can be a catalyst for conversation, healing, and understanding. Understanding that your work has this potential might inspire you to create with more conviction. Don't shy away from vulnerability either. Part of creating art as if your life depended on it is accepting that it might not always be perfect, and that's okay. Share your struggles along with your successes. Embrace your process and the learning curve that comes with it. There's a certain power in showing your audience that creating isn't a linear journey. Those imperfect moments might resonate more with people than the polished final versions because they see the real you, the artist who is unafraid to put their heart on the line. You never know how sharing that vulnerability can spark a conversation or encourage someone else to embrace their journey. And let's not forget the importance of exploring new things. Innovation can reignite your passion and urgency. Take a leap and try working with a new medium, technique, or style. Maybe you usually draw characters, so why not try illustrating a landscape? Or, if you typically use digital tools, switch it up with traditional paints or pencils. Not only does this shake up your routine, but it also pushes you outside your comfort zone, which can lead to unexpected discoveries. Think about how that can feel like a life or death quest. You're searching for new ways to express yourself, which can breathe fresh air into your art. Moreover, it might be helpful to find an art buddy or join a community where you can share your work and experiences. Sometimes having that support system and sharing your artistic journey makes the process feel more impactful. When people see the passion in your work and how much effort you've put into it, it illuminates the raw energy behind your creations. Plus, when you have someone who holds you accountable, you're more likely to stick to your commitment of making art with purpose. Lastly, I think it's crucial to remember that the stakes of creating art, as if your life depended on it, aren't just about creating something for the sake of producing. It's about honoring the process and finding fulfillment in your creative journey. Maybe it's less about the final result and more about how you feel while creating it. There's something so rewarding about pouring yourself into a piece and being fully present in the moment. Those experiences are the true essence of being an artist. So, embrace this hunger for creation. Treat art as if it's a vital part of your existence, not just a side hustle or a hobby. Let that fire drive you, motivate you, and inspire you every single day. When you create with urgency and purpose, it becomes a powerful outlet that can lead to unexpected breakthroughs and an enriched understanding of who you are. So grab those tools, dive in with fearlessness, and see what unfolds. Your creativity isn't just important, it's essential. Create as if your life depends on it, and watch how your art evolves. From this point on, I'll keep my mouth shut. Let's enjoy the peace and quiet and draw together. Thanks for listening, and all the best for your projects. Consider subscribing and give me a thumbs up. Find me on Instagram by following @MartinMiami. Bye.